Today's Live in the D is sponsored in part by Metro EHS Pediatric Therapy, revealing the super in every child.
Well, April is Autism Awareness Month, and all month long, we're showing you how those on the autism spectrum can get life-changing therapy with our sponsor, Metro EHS. Now, they create a positive experience that will improve the child's quality of life, and Metro EHS is a pediatric neighborhood therapy company that has 14 locations across Metro Detroit, including 3 more that are on the way, meaning there is a location near you that can help your family with therapy conditions like autism and beyond. And joining us this morning to talk about how they help children with communication therapy are Deanna Coker, board-certified behavioral analyst, and Chris Krajewski is a speech therapist with Metro EHS. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for being here.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. Why do kids with a diagnosis of autism struggle with communication?
So autism is a developmental disability that is really characterized by impairments in social interaction and communication. And kiddos, when they're diagnosed with autism, you'll find that they don't develop communication and language like other kids typically do. And that's usually by watching and imitating their environment. And it's not that they don't want to communicate. They really struggle to find a meaningful way to do it.
Okay, so do they need speech therapy then?
Yes, they do. So one of the hallmark characteristics of the diagnosis of autism is struggles with communication and with language and speech. So it's very likely that a child with autism will be visited by a speech pathologist. And what we really do in a nutshell is work to figure out where the barriers are to communication, where they are located, and then work in trying to show alternative ways of getting information into and then back out of our kiddos who are struggling to communicate.
All right, so what are some common speech therapy interventions?
Well, there are about as many interventions as there are kiddos, to be honest, because everybody's wired a little bit differently. But I did want to share with you something that we use for our children with autism and other disorders who might be struggling with communicating out to the world.
Okay.
So this is an AAC device, and that stands for Alternative and Augmentative Communication. And what it is essentially is an iPad, but it is loaded with a specific software that is only intended for communication. So,
okay, so let's hold that real steady so we can get a shot of everything that's on here, okay?
So no video games, no YouTube here. This is exclusively intended to be our kiddo's voice. So you can see here there are several icons and words here, and our kiddos can select by pressing words and put together words so that they can express themselves and have a voice put out into the world and have some impact on their environment.
That's really cool. So can you demonstrate it for us?
Sure.
Yeah.
So if we, for example, have somebody in a restaurant and it is time to give an order, our kiddo might be able...
I like drinking juice. I like drinking juice.
Wow.
So they're able to have their own impact on the environment rather than relying on other people to communicate for them.
Right, so it's not always mom like, well, you like juice, we'll have an apple juice, that kind of thing. Okay.
Right, we want to presume competence, we want to make sure that we allow our kids that voice.
Very nice, and what is this here?
So I brought this. This is a low-tech version of an alternative communication system. This is a PECS book, and PECS stands for Picture Exchange Communication System. And what PECS allows for is for a child to communicate via pictures. So we identify a child's wants, needs, and loves. And then once we have those, this becomes their voice, and they are able to find what it is they want. And then they can hand that picture over to their parent to request what it is they want. So they can hand a picture of juice over to their parent, and the parent can then give them some juice.
Very nice. And then we've got bubbles on here, fruit. So there are a lot of different things that can be communicated through these. It could be food and maybe something that they need. Maybe I need to blow my nose or something along those like common kid things. Very, very, very interesting. Well, Deanna and Chris, thank you both so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
We're all being educated and learning and hopefully giving hope to some people out there. Well, again, there are 14 Metro EHS locations in Metro Detroit, and 3 more are on the way to find the location nearest to you. So Metro EHS can help with ABA, speech, occupational, feeding, and physical therapies. Go to the website metroehs.com. Again, that's metroehs.com.